I'm talking with Dale Jobman about the evolution of trading strategies and what he's seen over the years and almost 45 years in the markets. You've seen a lot of analysis and different techniques over the years and the evolution of that. Where are we at today with that? And how do you think that traders are analyzing the market the best way these days?
You're always going to have your technical analysis. The people that will not be able to cope, individual traders cannot really cope on the basis of fundamentals with the commercials and so forth. So you have your charts, and everybody's going to rely on your charts. But one of the things you need to bring to your charts is that in a lot of cases, there are things that are going on in the market, kind of the underlying forces in the market that are making those charts move, but you can't see them. And that's where you need to bring in some kind of device, some kind of a tool that will help you be able to see a little bit more about what's going on, and then to be able to deliver an indicator that will tell you, okay, now is the time when something is prepared, that the setup is there for the trade, whether it's an entry or an exit or whatever it is. But you need that indicator to kind of give you a little bit of a kind of a boost, to give you the confidence to be able to trade, because if you don't have that, you cannot be a good trader.
Now, I know in trading and investing, timing is everything. So how do traders make better timed decisions?
Well, the better timed decisions have to come from a situation where what you are watching on a chart, as I say, everybody has a chart. Everybody can see, okay, there's a trend, there's this or that, but what's going on underneath? And that's where the indicators are very valuable. You have a whole set in TradeShark where they have predictive indicators that will give you a short-term market forecast. There are several different sets of indicators, depending upon the type of trader that you have, but they're able to take some of the old traditional indicators like the stochastics and MACD and all those, and give a little prediction a day ahead of what's going on. You have indicators that can tell you, okay, here's a trend, and when did it happen? And one of the advantages that you have in a TradeShark is that there will be some indicators that will turn maybe a day, maybe 2 days, or even several days ahead of an actual moving average, let's say. You get the early edge is what you're asking for, and that's what traders need if they want to be successful.
How reliable are these indicators? You can be right any day, right, or any week perhaps, but to be right consistently, it takes a lot of effort. So how reliable is this?
Yes, that's one of the things that also is very valuable in the TradeShark software, because they've done extensive testing, many markets, many different time periods and so forth, and they have been shown to be about 80% or more reliable over time. And if you have that kind of reliability, that's something you can count on as a trader. I mean, if you said that I am pretty sure that in the next few days, this is going to be right 4 times out of 5, you can really have some confidence in that kind of in that kind of a forecast, because when you have that, then you can, it's kind of whatever makes you pull that trigger to get that trade. You have to have that confidence, or you can go for naught. You can be brilliant, but you just got to let that computer do the work, do all the grunt work. You do the trading.
With 45 years in the business, you've seen thousands of software products and strategies come through. There's a lot out there. Why would a trader trade with TradeShark? What's the big difference for you?
Yeah, well, first of all, you're right about the analytical software. There's all kinds of analytical software with a lot of traditional indicators. You've got your moving averages, you've got your MACD, you've got all the others, mostly based upon price. And that means past price, stuff that's already happened. So you have a lagging indicator for the most part. The key is to be able to take all this data that comes in and to turn it into a leading indicator. And that can be done with intermarket analysis by a neural network process that produces prices, an intermarket data set of a set of intermarket data that can then be used in these various tools to give them some predictive capabilities. A lot of times, just if you take it on a moving average, for example, the predictive moving average, you will see turn 1 day, 2 days, several days ahead of the actual moving average, the lagging moving average. And that's what traders need. They need to be able to see the turns, where one gives a signal as to when to trade. Timing is absolutely everything, and if you can get into a trade, doesn't matter, you can be a novice, you can be the most brilliant trader in the world, but if you can get into a position early before the crowd, and you're on, you have an idea about that trend direction that's coming up, you have an edge.
There's all kinds of traders out there. You've got absolute beginners, intermediate traders, advanced traders, people that have been doing it for 45 years. What would you say is the number one thing that sets apart the successful trader from people who are still struggling to find their way?
I would say for the most part, the one thing that probably sets it apart is those people who have the ability to time their trades, to get in and out. Obviously, good money management is a part of that, but a person who is able to act when it's time to act. There's a right place and a right time for a lot of things, and that's what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to move when it's ready to move, and indicators is one of those things that you can rely on because of its accuracy rates to help you, kind of inspire you to make that decision, pull the trigger, whatever it takes to get into a trade or out of a trade for that matter.
All right, so if I'm a trader that has got a lot going on, there's a lot of noise in the markets, and I'm using TradeShark software, how clear is that signal to me that I need to buy or sell? Is the software going to give me, say, it might be time, or does it tell me it's time?
Well, the software is going to give you some pretty good clues. I mean, obviously, it can give you the clues. It's done all the grunt work. It's done everything to set it up. You still have to be that one. You're the trader. You have to make that decision. So you need to look at your signal, and you need to say, okay, this is the time. It says this is a crossover moving average, whatever it is that that software is showing you, that indicator shows you, and that sets it up, for a time to trade. It may mean that you'll put in a stop or something like that to get into a trade at a different price level or something, but it's now time to act. It's showtime.
Daryl, thanks for being here today.
You're welcome.
I've been talking with Daryl Jobman about the advantages of trend forecasting over trend following.